Twój przewodnik po świecie języka angielskiego. Dzień dobry, witaj po radosnej stronie życia. Tu Monika Podbielska. Dzisiaj chciałabym Wam opowiedzieć historię Coca-Coli. Jest to jedna z najbardziej znanych marek na świecie. Posłuchajcie więc, jak rozwijała świadomość marki wśród konsumentów i co pomogło jej odnieść sukces. I jak zwykle tekst i słownictwo możecie pobrać z mojej strony www.monikapodbielska.pl na stronie dzisiejszego odcinka. Zapraszam Was również na mojego Facebooka, Instagrama, gdzie możecie poczytać o różnych ciekawostkach językowych. Możemy się tam również spotkać, porozmawiać i zapraszam Was do komentowania, o czym chcielibyście jeszcze posłuchać, co Wam się podobało, a może macie jakieś swoje własne pomysły. Zapraszam. Probably you wonder what can be said about Coca-Cola. Is it just a popular drink? Or maybe just a sugar-filled, sweetened, fattening drink? A drink which almost hasn't changed in the last 100 years? Actually, I want to tell you about Coca-Cola as it is one of the most successful brands that have ever existed and that has managed to form the popular culture. I guess that rarely do we perceive this company in this way. Even now, more than 100 years since its founding, Coca-Cola is one of the most valuable brands. In fact, right next to Nestle only, in the food and drink sector, and one of the most valuable companies in the world ever. I wish to tell you its story, because it has brought to the world, apart from the drink itself, which has become part of our popular culture, a lot of spectacular ideas, mainly in the field of advertising. It has always been a leader in inventing new ways of getting to customers. Some of them will really surprise you. It is said that the Coca-Cola logo is the most recognizable one in the world, this time right next to Apple and McDonald's. And now let's see how it all started. Coca-Cola was invented by Dr. John Pemberton, a pharmacist from Atlanta, in 1886. The Coke formula was discovered in a brass kettle in his patio as a nerve tonic, energizer, and remedy for a headache, having the stimulant properties of the coca plant and cola nuts, sweetened with sugar. His bookkeeper, Frank Robinson, came up with a name for the drink and wrote it down, and it has become the Coca-Cola trademark and a popular symbol of our times. It was advertised as a delicious, exhilarating, refreshing, and invigorating cooler. The cocaine was removed from Coca-Cola's formula about 1903. Pemberton sold his syrup to local soda fountains, and the drink quickly became exceptionally successful. By 1891, another Atlanta pharmacist had bought the Coca-Cola business and in 1893 registered the trademark Coca-Cola in the U.S. Patent Office. Sales grew enormously. In the first decade of the 20th century, new syrup-making plants were established, and the product was sold all over the United States and Canada. In 1899, the first agreement for bottling and selling the ready Coca-Cola drink was signed. In 1919, the Coca-Cola Company was sold for over $25 million to a group of investors led by Atlanta businessman Ernest Woodruff. His son, Robert Winship Woodruff, guided the company as a president and chairman for 3 decades until 1955. Coca-Cola Company has been promoting its products for nearly 100 years, and most people of the world know at least one Coca-Cola advertisement. The most incredible use of Coca-Cola advertising was the promotion of the drink with the use of the character of Santa Claus. But this time, he got a completely new image, the Coca-Cola image. This new image emerged in the end of 1930s. Until then, people had imagined Santa Claus as a bizarre combination of a bishop and a gnome. Over many years, Santa Claus' new image was accepted by public around the world and turned into a Christmas tradition. Santa Claus became now a friendly, very warm old man. During the period of the Second World War, there appeared adverts of Coca Cola with this newly designed Santa Claus in a red robe holding a bottle of Coca Cola. And since then, the two are inseparable. Can you imagine now Christmas without Santa Claus in a red robe and also without the famous Coca Cola jingle? Coca Cola has always managed to come up with something of cutting-edge quality in its advertising. Let's look now at its famous slogans. Slogans are also called the catchwords and often become memorable phrases and mottos used in everyday life contexts. One of the most recognized slogans, which is also a motto of the company, is "Welcome to the Coke side of life." Let's check out the development of Coca-Cola slogans and see the most memorable ones dating back to the beginning of the company in 1886. Drink Coca-Cola. This was the earliest catchword of Coca-Cola, and in fact, it is the basic and the most important one. Until now, Coca-Cola campaigns have been concentrating on making sure that if someone would ever think of drinking Coca-Cola, that will be available anywhere in the world. 1904. Delicious and refreshing. 1971. I'd like to buy the world a Coke. This one was teaching our globe to sing in harmony and unite, managed to become a memorable one. 1976. Coke adds life. And the scene here is the Garden of Eden. Father God creates Adam. When Adam's creation is done, God gives him a little Coca-Cola to drink. Adam gets to life and sees God with Coca-Cola in his hand and tries to reach it with the very words, "Coca-Cola adds life." This last scene resembles the painting in the Sistine Chapel in Vaticane, and it was a hit. 1982. Coke is it. It means that Coke is the best that exists. There is no other form of a refreshment drink. Now everybody wants to drink it. This slogan was famously translated into Polish by Agnieszka Osiecka as "Coca-Cola to jest to," and has been considered the best one for Coca-Cola in Poland ever since. 1993. Always Coca-Cola. Here, Coca-Cola is trying to make sure that young Coca-Cola consumers may be missing the young days, but Coca-Cola will be there and will bring them back the joy and happiness of the childhood. This brand has always been a strong supporter of optimism and positive approach to life. Coca-Cola adverts have always been accompanied by joyful and memorable tunes and pictures of happy people. The culmination of this approach may be seen in Happiness Factory commercial called Coke Side of Life, popularized in Poland as "Witaj po radosnej stronie życia" Coca-Cola. At the very beginning, Coca-Cola advertising campaigns were only grey posters with some slogans. With the development of technology, the advertisements have been able to give us what we need and what is in line with the slogans, a moving picture of a wonderful world with happy people, smiling faces and pleasant language that gives us choices. We must remember also that Coca-Cola has been a leader in setting new trends in advertising. In 2004, in Australia, it launched the first personalized advertising campaign in the form of bottles with names on them. Everybody could buy a bottle with his or her name on it, feeling that it is just for you. This trend grew, and now is a major one in all advertising, as all companies try to reach the customers as individually as they only can. Today, Coca-Cola is made in countries all over the world, including Russia and China. It is the world's most popular drink. And for the famous formula itself, it is probably the world's most valuable secret. The exact ingredients for making Coca-Cola are only known to a handful of people. New concepts, strategies of launching campaigns strengthened the position of the company to such an extent that Coke has reached much of interest in the audience and the desire to stay with consumers in their everyday lives. This company gives us entertainment and is a symbol of successful business that many companies wish to achieve. Koniecznie pobierzcie tekst ze słownictwem ze strony www.monikapodbielska.pl. Możecie czytać go na głos, aby trenować wymowę i zapamiętywać wyrażenia w kontekście. Zapraszam Was również na Facebook, Instagram, gdzie znajdziecie wiele ciekawostek językowych. Do zobaczenia tam i do usłyszenia w następnym odcinku. Pozdrawiam.